Good morning, owls! It's Monday again, and we're back to our measures lesson. And so far, over the last few weeks, we've been looking at how to calculate the area of different shapes. We worked out how to calculate the area of a rectangle, then we looked at how to calculate the area of a triangle, and finally, last week, we looked at how to calculate the area of a parallelogram. I wonder how many of you can remember how to do each of those things. First one, nice and easy, calculating the area of a rectangle. So how much space is there inside that rectangle? This one was really easy. This one, we're going to multiply together the base, okay, and the length. So this is where we look for the long side and the short side and multiply them together. So there we go, area equals length times breadth. Okay, let's look at this one. Triangle. Can you remember how we've worked out the area of a triangle? Excellent. Hopefully you've all remembered that we're going to begin by drawing in that rectangle. And to find the area of a triangle, we simply work out the area of the rectangle and halve it. So we're going to do exactly the same as this. We're going to do length times breadth, so the long side multiplied by the short side, but then we need to remember to halve it. Okay, that's really important. So I'll move that one down there. What about the area of a parallelogram? This is what we looked at last week. Can you remember how easy this was? If I draw this line in here, this might help you and help you to remember what we did. Can you remember we moved this little part, this triangle, and we moved it over here? Can you remember that? And that then gave us a rectangle. And we know how to work out the area of a rectangle. It's the base, okay, it's the base along the bottom, times by the height, okay? So it's base times by height. We need to be careful here because we don't want to multiply that diagonal line by the base. We're wanting this perpendicular line multiplied by the base. Okay, so the area of a parallelogram is base times height. Don't worry too much about the letters that I'm using because that's not the important bit. It's understanding which lengths you're multiplying together. So for a rectangle, it's the long side multiplied by the short side. For a triangle, it's the long side multiplied by the short side and then halve it. For the parallelogram, this is the only one that's a bit iffy. We want to have the long side, but we're multiplying it by the height. Okay? Well, today we're going to look at how we calculate the area of compound shapes again. I know that this is something that you've done before, but it's a skill that needs to be practiced, just like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. If you continue to practice this skill, you will find calculating area really easy. So let's have a look at some together. So here we go. We've got a compound shape. It's a shape that's made up of more than one shape. This shape has two rectangles in it, and we can draw a line to divide it into two different rectangles any way that you like. You could draw a line across this way, yeah, or you could draw a line up this way. It's entirely up to you, but whatever you do, you're going to label one rectangle A and another rectangle B. I'm going to be honest, I actually prefer this way. I have no idea why, but that's how I'm going to divide my compound shape. I'm going to call this one A and I'm going to call this one B. So when you divide your shape, you must make the line nice and clear and to label each rectangle with a letter. Now we're going to calculate the area of each rectangle, and to be able to do that, we need to know which of those lengths, which of those sides we're going to multiply together. So if we look at rectangle A, which of those measurements, so we've got that one, that one, that one, and even this one, which of those measurements is telling us the long side of that rectangle? Hopefully you've all decided that it's 8 metres as well. And if you're not sure, have a look. That there is the, oops, is the long side, okay? This is the short side. So the short side measurement is 5 metres. Do you even need the 3 metres for this measurement? No. Are you going to use the 12 metres for this measurement? No. So you might be given some measurements that you don't need. Don't be fooled and don't be tricked. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So for area A, we're going to do 8 multiplied by 5, which equals 40 metres. And who can remember it? What we've got to do? Metres squared. Why is it squared? Because it's an area. Brilliant. Let's look at area B. So if we look at area B, we've got to find the long side and the short side. This one's a little bit strange. This is actually your long side. Can you see that? And this one is your short side. So can we see which of those lengths we're going to need to multiply together? Brilliant. It's the 7 and the 5. So when we multiply them together, we're going to have 7 multiplied by 5, which equals 35 metres this time, and it's metres squared. So the total area is area A add area B. So we're going to write that down here. Oops. So we're going to have 40 add 35, which equals 75 metres. Please remember it, squared. Hopefully you've all followed that, and that should seem nice and easy. Okay, now some of you are going to be challenged today because some of the compound shapes that you have don't give you all of the measurements that you need. So let's have a little look at one. This one here is a compound shape that you can divide into 2 rectangles, very similar to the one before. It's up to you where you divide the shape. I'm going to go, which way shall we go? I think I'm going to go this way this time, just to prove. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go this way because I think sometimes it's easier one way than another. Yeah. Actually, it won't matter. No, I will do it this way, just to show you how to do it. Ooh, that's the dodgiest straight line I've ever seen. It's just... oh, it's not even going to let me do it. Let me try that again. So we're going to draw a straight line. That's a bit better, isn't it? Excellent. Okay, so we've got rectangle A and we've got rectangle B. So let's just highlight which sides we want to use. We want the long side and we want the short side. We want the what appears to be the long side, don't know whether it is, and we want the short side. Hopefully you agree. So some of these lengths we have been given. Let's highlight the ones that we know. We know the long side of A is 9. We don't know the short side yet. We know that this side, this short side, we think of B, but we don't know the long side. Oh, so tricky. So what we need to do is we need to work out those missing sides, and we do that by looking at parallel sides. So this is where I'm going to have to use a different colour. We know that this side here, okay, is going to be equal to this side and this side added together. And we know that because I can... oh, I don't want to do that. Maybe it won't let me. I could drag that side out to here. Do you agree? I'm going to try and draw it in. So I could take that 5 metres and I could actually put it here. Do you agree that that length is the same as that length? And if that's the case, that bit must be 5. Yeah? Hopefully you're following me. That bit there is 5. Yeah? And if this bit's 9, and this has got to be the same, 5 add what will make 9? Brilliant. Well done. So that's 4 metres. So now we know that this side is 6 and this side is 4. I'm going to use a different colour. It's sort of getting a little bit busy, isn't it, this shape? Let's try, we'll use highlighter. Try purple. Okay, so we also want to find this side, don't we? We know that that is going to be equal to this add this, because I could move that side down here. I hope you understand what I've moved there. Yeah? So if we know that that's 6, this bit here must be 6. And if that bit's 6 and this bit's 9, we're going to do 6 add something makes 9. 6 add 3. Fantastic. So now we know this side. Yeah? So let's look at area A. Area A is going to be the long side, which was 9, and we're multiplying it by the short side, which was 3. 9 multiplied by 3 equals 27 metres squared. Area B, so we're looking just at this shape here. We want this side and this side. So actually I was wrong. This is the long side, this is the short side. Diagrams can be very, very tricky there. Obviously it's not drawn to scale. Right, so we're going to have 6 multiplied by 4. So that was the long side and the short side of shape B. Yeah? And then we're going to add them together to find the total area. So the total area is 27, add 24, and if my mental maths is correct, I think that is 51 metres. I hope you're all shouting. Squared. Brilliant. So guys, you're going to have a go at this. I've attached 2 tasks. One task is nice and easy and simply looks at compound shapes where all of the sides have been given. Okay? Task B is much trickier and there are some sides that are missing. If you're in year 5 and you want to have a go at the trickier task, and I'm hoping some of you do, I don't expect you to complete all of them. Just do the first, 6, and then you can leave the rest. If you're in year 6, however, I expect you to have a go at all of those compound shapes on task 2. Good luck. Looking forward to seeing your work. Bye.